Hey, how you doing? This is Chuck Englert, Spring Piston Rifle Fever and Bible and Strength. I just want to introduce you to a book that will definitely help you think out of the box. This was written by Steve Justa. I've probably had this book for at least 25 years now. And it's amazing how fast time goes. But this has all sorts of different things in here. He talks about traditional barbell training, and then he talks about all sorts of different things like isometrics from all sorts of different angles, and he credits that with helping him haul square bells uh, with new energy and new strength, more so than he ever had with barbells alone. He trains with barrels, he trains with rocks, he trains with logs, he trains with parts of the track from a railroad. One of the best lifts he's ever done was called the barrel lift. He talks about that where he loaded up a barrel. Here's on the back, he's got a barrel he's lifting. Where he gets a barrel and he puts a pound of railroad rocks in it and he loads it up on his shoulder and he walks it like 100 yards, sets it down, puts it on the other shoulder and walks it back. He does that every day, not every other day, but he does it every day for, I don't remember how long, but up until he worked up to 315 pounds. So that's ginormous strength. This guy has always been a natural lifter. I'm just going to talk about the book. I'm not going to talk about his personality or what I think about him or anything like that. But he invents all sorts of cool stuff. And if that's just not motivating, I don't know what isn't, or what is, It's kind of really cool looking to me. He talks about backlifts. He talks about G-force training, smashing his hands into the wall, his shoulder into the wall, his knees into the wall, slamming his feet into the ground, all sorts of stuff to build strength. Down here, he's got the shovel lift or pitchfork lift. Very cool. I've done this lift myself before, trying to imitate him with just a barbell. Page 70. We'll go to that real quick. And this one he talks about. Let's see if he's got a picture of it in here. Yeah, there he is. There he is with his shovel lift. 210 pounds, it says. He talks about how much strength and how much carryover this gives to other exercises. I think that's pretty cool. This guy was from Nebraska, I think Harvard, Nebraska. Here's his barrel lift, a barrel lifting workout actually. Very cool. He's got everything on there. I've never done it. I've worked out with a barrel before, but I've never done his program. Super high volume amount of work for his barrel lifting program. I think it will pound you into the ground if you try it. If you get this book and try it. I don't even know if you can buy it anymore. I'm sure you can somewhere. Then he's got his training philosophy and attack plan. Talks about nutrition, fasting 1 day a week, positive attitude, speed, strength. Talks about how much you should train with. He says that he thinks about 65% to 70% is the best area to train at with weights. And he uses the analogy of if you were to kick a balloon hard as you could, how far would it go? And he says, not very far. But if you were to kick a medicine ball, how far would that go? Which would be like training too heavy. He said not very far either. But he said if you were to take a basketball and you were to kick that, he said it would go a long, long ways. And I like that analogy. He's got different things with different training programs in here, training with singles. I'm not sure exactly where that is, but I did that training with singles. It was 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off. And you started out with 70% of your max. You did 2 singles. That was it for the day, for an exercise. And then, let's see if we can find any more cool pictures. And then, once every 2 weeks, you maxed out. Then you recalibrated where you were. and start over at 70% again, and you slowly build back up. The program actually worked really good for me. I benched my most ever in this program. I ended up benching, what was it, 340 or 345 pounds in my basement on a rickety bench on a regular barbell. It was probably a pretty dangerous lift. Here he is with his barrel. He talks about endurance training. There he is with a railroad rail. This has got 500 pounds written on it. Here he is with a chain vest he made. It says it weighed 100 pounds. He talks about that he would wear this and he would shovel grain during the workday. Work through grain elevators, shoveling heavy grain all day long, wearing a heavy 100-pound vest. I think this guy was really tough. I think if I tried that, I would be done. He's got power aerobic isometrics in here. Here he is doing isometric training. He talks about his lifts and how much he was lifting. This is the section where he talks about how when he was hauling square bells for a living, that all the weightlifting didn't really help him that much. And then he went to doing isometrics. He said he'd do hundreds of lifts every night, isometric lifts every night. He said he kept on changing it up and doing different things. And that's when that his work became much, much easier and he started getting a lot stronger. Which also made me think about the conjugate program. So he doesn't talk about changing up weight training the way he changed up with his isometrics, and I'm really wondering how he would have done if he would have applied that principles to the weights, if his strength would have just skyrocketed then. I've heard that, like with Olympic weightlifters, the continual rotating of different exercises, variations on the press, push press, jerk, clean, power clean, snatch, power snatch, the different variations that they have on that. Here's on singles, build tremendous strength. So he's got a few different programs in here. So if you want it really bad, you can do a screenshot. See if I can get in trouble for sharing too much. But this is a really motivating book. Here's one where he built that, welded that, doing what he called a hand thigh lift. And he said it was a 1-ton deadlift lockout with a 10-second hold. That's 2,000 pounds with a 1-second hold. That's what he's claiming. It's a lot of stinking weight. There's his back, one of his backlifting apparatuses, full of rocks in the back. That's where you bend over, put your hands like on a stump, and you straighten your legs out and your arms at one time. It's like doing a bench press, leg press at a very short range of motion. And it builds tremendous tendon, ligament, muscle, bone strength, all combined. And this is another really motivating one. If you ever found some crazy person like this who you could work out with, there he is doing another backlift and another different machine, but lifting equipment that he built. But if you ever found somebody like this that had all these different things, I tell you what, I think that'd be fun to lift with somebody. Here, this section here is on partial training. There he is. He's doing a one-arm shoulder off the rack. Says 1,000 pounds. It sure looks like 1,000 pounds. I can see it's definitely cleared the rack right here on this side for sure. I know that 100%. Got a big gut, big arms, but you know what? He had a lot of muscle and a lot of strength under all that fat and stuff. All right, we've skimmed through it enough. I just want to say that this definitely is one of my most favorite books. It's really good. He wrote another one called, I can't remember what it was, like the Iron Master or something like that. I'm sure if you looked hard enough, you might be able to find that one too. This is just a great book. It's a lot of fun to read, and I definitely would give it a double thumbs up. You like the video, definitely give me a like. Give me a subscribe. I'd highly appreciate that. I want to say God bless you. Get motivated. Hit the iron. Do it like a robot if you have to. The motivation will come. You have a God-blessed weekend.